There's always a shift in the air when she enters a room. The crowd is gathered, but all eyes are drawn to her. Not because she's the only one in the room, nor because of her striking looks, but because of something invisible yet incredibly powerful, her confidence. In that moment, you feel her presence. People around her recognize that she not only owns the space, but she also owns her life. So what makes women like her the ones men fall for? It's confidence. Not because she's perfect, but because she knows her worth. Confidence makes her stand out in the eyes of men, not because of her exterior, but because of the energy and attitude she exudes. Confidence is not about standing tall and smiling. It's an inner feeling of self-worth. When a woman knows how to love herself, she no longer seeks validation from others. That's the key to creating a healthy and lasting relationship. In this section, we're going to explore why confidence is one of the most important traits men actually seek, and how you can develop this trait to attract the love you deserve. Confidence isn't just a surface-level appearance. It comes from knowing who you are and accepting your flaws. Confident women don't have to prove themselves to anyone. They shine naturally. Men are attracted to women not just because of their looks, but because of the positive, powerful energy they radiate. Confident women don't need confirmation from others. They've already accepted and loved themselves. You may be wondering, how can I become a confident woman? To answer that question, think about someone in your life, maybe a woman you admire for her confidence. What makes her stand out? It's not that she's perfect, but that she's comfortable in her own skin. She owns her space, and she walks through the world with conviction. Imagine if you could develop that kind of confidence in your own life. Confidence is not something you can fake. It has to be built from within, through small steps every day. How you treat yourself, how you view yourself, and the decisions you make each day will affect how others perceive you. When you are confident, you no longer feel the need to please others. Instead, you attract respect and love naturally. The story of a woman who once lacked confidence could be a great example of this change. She lived in the shadow of doubt, constantly seeking approval from others. She felt she was never good enough. But then she decided to change, not just in how she viewed herself, but in how she faced the world. She started seeing herself differently, and that's when she found the inner strength to shine. And it was this change that caught the attention of everyone around her. Confidence doesn't just come from how you look or act in a crowd. It comes from how you handle challenges, how you love yourself, and how you face adversity. A confident woman knows how to handle herself in any situation. She doesn't let negativity or fear hold her back. Instead, she faces the world with a sense of self-assurance and resilience. This is the secret to attracting men and building strong, lasting relationships. How can you develop this confidence in your own life? First, learn to love yourself. Not because you're perfect, but because you're worthy of love and respect, flaws and all. When you love yourself, you will feel an invisible strength that no one can take away. Next, focus on your mental and physical health. To be confident, you need to take care of your body and mind. Make time for activities that bring you joy and relaxation. This will help you feel stronger, more confident, and less dependent on others for validation. Finally, set personal goals and pursue your passions. When you do what you love, you'll feel more confident and fulfilled. Confidence comes from knowing that you deserve the best and that you don't need to settle for anything less. But is confidence enough to build a lasting relationship? Is there another trait that men value deeply in women? Let's explore emotional intelligence in the next part, where we'll uncover why understanding and handling emotions can create a strong, lasting bond in a relationship. The power of emotional intelligence. Imagine this. You're sitting across from the man you love and you can feel something is off. He's not saying anything, but you notice the subtle signs, the way his body is tense, the way his eyes avoid yours. In that moment, you realize something that he's not saying, but something his heart is speaking loud and clear. You could ask him what's wrong, but instead, you choose to listen quietly, letting him feel seen and heard in his silence. That's emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence isn't just about understanding others. It's about understanding yourself, your feelings, your reactions, and your emotional triggers. It's about reading the room and knowing when to speak and when to simply hold space for someone else. But why is it so crucial in relationships? Why do men find women with emotional intelligence so irresistible? Emotional intelligence, EI, is a trait that goes beyond intellect. It's the ability to understand, control, and express emotions, and it plays a significant role in creating deep connections. When a woman has high emotional intelligence, she not only knows herself well, but she also intuitively understands others, making her an incredibly empathetic partner. Men are drawn to women who make them feel comfortable enough to be vulnerable, to open up about their fears, hopes, and dreams. In fact, the most successful relationships aren't built on superficial attraction, but on emotional understanding. Men want to feel safe and valued, and a woman who can connect with him on a deeper emotional level is someone who can build trust and intimacy in a way no one else can. Let's take a moment and look at a story of a woman with high emotional intelligence. Sarah had been with Mark for 3 years. He was successful in his career, but his professional life often left him stressed and overwhelmed. Most nights he'd come home and sit quietly on the couch, his mind consumed by the challenges of the day. Sarah knew that he wasn't angry at her, but she also understood that he didn't know how to express what he was feeling. Instead of nagging him to talk or forcing him to open up, Sarah gave him the space he needed. She would make dinner, sit beside him, and just be present, waiting until he was ready to share his thoughts. One evening, he finally broke the silence, saying, "I've been so stressed lately, and I didn't know how to tell you." Sarah simply listened, offering him the emotional support he needed. Her patience and empathy helped him feel safe enough to express his feelings. That night, Mark realized just how much he appreciated Sarah's emotional intelligence. It wasn't just about the things she said, it was about how she made him feel understood. This story isn't just about Sarah and Mark. It's about the type of emotional connection that can transform a relationship. Emotional intelligence is about more than simply being nice. It's about being in tune with your partner's emotional needs and understanding when to give them space or when to show support. It's the quiet strength that shows up in a relationship when words fall short. It's what allows couples to go through tough times and still emerge stronger together. So, what exactly makes emotional intelligence so powerful in relationships? It's the ability to remain calm and grounded, even when emotions run high. Imagine a disagreement where both sides are upset. Instead of raising your voice, you choose to stay composed, listening first and responding thoughtfully. This is emotional intelligence in action. It allows you to handle difficult situations without escalating the conflict, and it helps to preserve the trust and respect in your relationship. Emotional intelligence also plays a huge role in empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. It's what makes you not only a good listener, but a supportive partner. When a woman demonstrates empathy, she doesn't just hear her partner's words. She feels them. She knows when to offer comfort, when to encourage him, and when to give him the space to process on his own. It's easy to get caught up in our own emotions, but emotional intelligence teaches you how to manage your feelings and how to consider the other person's emotional state too. This creates a harmonious and balanced relationship where both partners feel seen, heard, and understood. Now, you might be asking yourself, how can I develop my emotional intelligence? Well, it starts with becoming more self-aware. To understand others, you first need to understand yourself. Pay attention to your own emotions, what triggers them, how you react, and how you can manage them better. It's about creating space to feel your emotions without letting them control you. When you know your own emotional landscape, you can navigate relationships more effectively, and you'll be able to meet your partner's emotional needs in a healthy way. One practical tip is to practice active listening. Instead of waiting for your turn to speak, listen with the intent to understand. Let your partner speak freely and reflect back what you've heard, showing that you truly understand their perspective. This builds trust and deepens your emotional connection. Another important aspect of emotional intelligence is empathy. The next time your partner shares something vulnerable with you, take a moment to truly listen and reflect their feelings. By showing empathy, you create a safe space where both of you can be authentic and open. As we wrap up this part, I want you to ask yourself, do you truly understand your emotions and your partner's emotions? Are you able to create an emotional connection that goes beyond words? If not, don't worry. It's something you can work on every day. And in the next part, we'll dive deeper into another crucial trait that men love: independence. How does being independent actually make you more attractive in a relationship? Let's explore that in the next section. Being independent yet together. Imagine this. You're living a life full of ambition and joy. You have your career, your friends, your hobbies, and your passions. You don't need anyone to complete you. But when you find someone you care about, you don't lose yourself in the relationship. Instead, you bring all of your beautiful, independent self into it, creating something that's stronger and more fulfilling because of your individual growth. This is the essence of being independent in a relationship. Too often, women are told that they have to give up parts of themselves to make their relationships work. But what if I told you that the best way to attract and keep the right man is to remain strong, confident, and independent? What if I told you that your independence is exactly what makes you more irresistible in his eyes? It may sound counterintuitive, but men are drawn to women who are independent. They admire women who have their own passions, careers, and goals. Men appreciate women who can stand on their own 2 feet because it shows that you're strong, self-sufficient, and capable of creating a fulfilling life on your own. But the most fascinating part, when you are independent, the relationship feels more balanced, healthier, and more meaningful because both partners are coming into the relationship as whole individuals, not as people seeking completion. When we talk about independence in relationships, it doesn't mean that you should close yourself off emotionally or avoid deep connections. Being independent doesn't mean being distant or refusing to rely on your partner when you need help. It's about balance. You maintain your own identity, your own sense of purpose, while still being able to share your life with someone else. Independence allows you to bring your full self into a relationship without feeling like you have to compromise on who you are. Take a moment and think about a time when you felt completely yourself, when you were following your passion or achieving something you were really proud of. How did it feel? Didn't it feel amazing to be in your own power, doing what you loved without needing anyone's approval? That's the kind of energy you bring to a relationship when you're independent. Men love women who are doing their own thing and who don't rely on them for validation or happiness. You know your worth, and you know that you deserve to be loved for exactly who you are. Now let's dive into how this independence plays out in real-life relationships. Imagine you meet a man. You're excited about the possibilities, but you're not desperate for the relationship to work. You have your own life, and you're happy with it. So, while you're open to a connection, you're not basing your happiness on whether or not he likes you. You're secure in yourself, and that sense of security is incredibly attractive to men. It allows him to feel like he's not carrying the weight of your emotional needs. You're both standing equally in the relationship, offering what you can, but not depending on the other person to fill a void. Now, consider the alternative. When a woman is overly dependent on a relationship to feel validated, she may begin to lose her sense of identity, forgetting the things that make her unique. Her self-worth becomes tied to her partner, and she may feel anxious or insecure if things aren't going perfectly. This type of energy can create imbalances in the relationship, where one person may feel overwhelmed by the other's emotional dependence. This is why emotional independence is key. It allows both partners to be their best selves without feeling pressured to fulfill all the other person's needs. So how do you build this independence while still fostering a deep, loving relationship? The first step is self-love. You must truly love yourself and have a deep appreciation for who you are. This means knowing your worth, being proud of your accomplishments, and being comfortable with being alone with yourself. It's important to build a life that you're passionate about. A life where you're not constantly waiting for someone else to fulfill you. When you have your own passions and interests, it keeps you grounded and confident, and it creates a stronger foundation for any relationship you enter. Next, focus on communication. While being independent means that you're not relying on your partner for your emotional needs, it doesn't mean you should bottle up your feelings. Communication is essential in any relationship, and being able to express your thoughts, needs, and desires in a healthy way is vital to maintaining your independence while still being emotionally connected. Make sure to talk about your goals, your dreams, and what you need from the relationship. This way, both of you can support each other in pursuing your individual dreams while also growing together. Another key element to maintaining independence in a relationship is respecting boundaries. Just as it's important for you to have your own space and time, it's equally important for your partner to have theirs. Being able to respect each other's need for personal time and personal growth strengthens the relationship. This doesn't mean distancing yourselves emotionally, but rather creating a space where both of you can thrive individually, knowing that you will come together stronger because of it. When you're independent, the relationship becomes more fulfilling because both of you are contributing equally without expecting the other person to complete you. It allows both of you to be your best selves and bring your unique strengths to the table. You don't have to be the same person as your partner to have a meaningful connection. In fact, it's your differences that make the bond stronger. Think about it. When both of you are emotionally strong and self-assured, you can face challenges together without relying on one another to make up for weaknesses. Instead of falling into the trap of codependence, you rise up together, supporting and encouraging each other to reach new heights. That's what makes a relationship truly beautiful. Two individuals who choose to share their lives and love without losing themselves in the process. To wrap things up, I want to leave you with a thought. Independence doesn't mean detaching yourself from the people you love, but it does mean standing firm in who you are and what you want in life. When you create a life that's fulfilling on your own, you become the kind of woman who attracts love because you are whole and you don't need anyone to complete you. In the next part, we'll explore how independence enhances your attractiveness, but we'll also dive into another crucial aspect of love: how to maintain attraction long-term. Can you keep the spark alive in a relationship while maintaining your sense of self? Let's find out in the next chapter. Embracing all the qualities. As we reach the final chapter of our journey, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned so far. We've explored 3 key qualities that make women irresistible to men: confidence, emotional intelligence, and independence. Each of these traits is powerful on its own, but when combined, they create a magnetic woman who exudes strength, warmth, and authenticity. These qualities are not just superficial, they are the very foundation of a healthy, thriving relationship. Let's take a step back and think about how these traits come together. When you have confidence, you not only attract admiration, but you also set the tone for a relationship where both partners feel valued and respected. Confidence makes you aware of your worth, and it makes others realize that you won't settle for anything less than respect and love. Then there's emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage both your own emotions and the emotions of others. When you're emotionally intelligent, you create a space where vulnerability is safe, where both partners can be themselves without fear of judgment. This emotional depth strengthens the connection, building trust and intimacy. Finally, independence brings balance. It's about knowing who you are and having a life that's full and fulfilling without needing someone to complete you. Being independent in a relationship doesn't mean being distant. It means being whole. When both partners bring their full, authentic selves to the table, the relationship becomes a beautiful exchange of support, love, and growth. Together, these qualities create the foundation for a deep and lasting connection. But the most important part is this: when you embrace all of these traits, you become a woman who not only attracts the right kind of love, but also builds a love that lasts. Now that we've seen how these qualities come together, let's talk about how to cultivate them in your life. It's one thing to talk about these traits, but it's another to live them every day. So how can you take the lessons from this video and make them part of your everyday life? First, it starts with self-love. You must love yourself before you can truly love someone else. Take time to invest in your own growth, both personally and emotionally. This doesn't mean being perfect. It means being real with yourself. Acknowledge your strengths, embrace your weaknesses, and always strive to improve. When you love yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you. And when you love yourself, you are more likely to attract someone who values you for who you truly are. Next, emotional intelligence can be nurtured through practice. Take time to reflect on your emotions, both the good and the bad. Learn to recognize when your emotions are affecting your behavior and reactions. When you understand yourself, you can respond to your partner with empathy and understanding, creating a safe, nurturing environment where both of you can grow together. Don't be afraid to ask yourself difficult questions and work through emotional challenges. This self-awareness will make you a better partner, friend, and person. Independence is equally important. It doesn't mean doing everything alone. It means knowing that you are complete with or without a partner. Pursue your passions, nurture your friendships, and build a fulfilling life that doesn't rely on someone else for validation. When you are independent, you become more attractive to the right person because you show that you have a life that's worth living, and you invite them to share it with you, not to complete you, but to walk beside you. Now, I want to leave you with something to think about. The woman men love the most is not the one who is perfect, but the one who is confident, emotionally intelligent, and independent. She's the woman who knows her worth, who understands others, and who lives life on her terms. She's the woman who can build a healthy, lasting relationship with someone else because she's already built a healthy, lasting relationship with herself. So ask yourself, are you confident in who you are? Are you emotionally attuned to your own needs and the needs of others? Do you maintain a sense of independence while also fostering deep connections? If the answer is yes, then you're already on your way to becoming the woman who attracts the love and respect she deserves. But if you feel like you're still on the journey to finding these qualities, that's okay too. Every day is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become the best version of yourself. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be real. And you do need to love yourself enough to become the woman who attracts the kind of love that is deep, authentic, and lasting. As we close this chapter, I want to thank you for being here, for being open to learning, and for taking the first steps toward creating the life and love you deserve. Remember, you have everything you need inside of you to become the woman who captivates hearts. It starts with confidence, emotional intelligence, and independence. Embrace these qualities and you will find yourself not only attracting the right partner, but also building the kind of relationship that will stand the test of time. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I can't wait to see you continue to grow and thrive in every aspect of your life. Remember, you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness, and you have the power to create that in your life. Stay tuned for more videos that will help you build the kind of relationship you've always dreamed of. Until next time, take care of yourself and the ones you love.